Hi and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on our Jingle Bell earrings, and these are so fun and festive. You're going to be surprised how easy these are to make, and once you have the basic supplies, they're real cost effective, so you can make them for gifts for all your friends as well. Let's get started. We're going to be using QuikWood, which is a wood putty epoxy, and the great thing I like about QuikWood, it has 30 minutes workable time. It's rock hard in an hour and you can just keep on working. The one thing though, rock hard means rock hard in your jewelry, so take all of your jewelry off. I'm going to be using some vegetable spray. Yes, Pam will work, and spray it on my hands so it doesn't stick to my hands. So this takes such a little amount. This is such an inexpensive gift or item to make. That's totally up to you. I always say kind of the hardest thing to do with QuikWood is to cut such a small amount. So we just need a little piece. I'm going to put my end of my covering back on top of it, my little foil circle, and put it back in there and seal it back up. Take the plastic off. I can't tell you how many times people forget to take the plastic off. And this stores for quite a while, but if you have a little bit of crusty on the end, just remove it with your fingers and knead it. That's what makes it activate. You see the two different colors? There's your two different parts. And by kneading that together, you activate the QuikWood. So we're going to knead that till it's all one solid color and it starts to get warm to the touch. So for our little bell, we're going to take our vegetable oil and I'm going to spray it into my fingers because this one is so small, and just work that in really well as much as you can. So I think I have enough for two, if not more than that. So I'm going to take my other little piece, and if you have a piece of plastic or something that you can put that into so it doesn't dry out real quick, go ahead and do that. I think that's probably even enough for two sets, if not more. And you can see what I did is I set that down in there and I slid that off with my thumb to take some of the extra off. So I'm going to take some of this out again, and we're going to put that in there, and it takes such a little amount for these. This is what is so great, such a little amount. This will go such a long ways, and your cost once you have your initial setup will hardly be anything. Now, what you want to do is on these edges of this, you do not want it above that. And you want it pushed over so the edges stay clean, so your mold comes out clean. You don't have any sloppy edges. I'm going to take a piece of packing tape and we're going to stick this down and gently rub that and kind of push your mold out. And if it sticks in, then you didn't get enough of your vegetable spray. And that should come out nice and clean. This may take a couple tries, so don't feel bad if you need to do it again. Just roll it all back in and do it one more time. We're going to be using pigment powder on these, and we have to do it while these are wet, but we want it to be a little bit dry. So go ahead and start your second one, and by the time you get that done and come back to this one, it'll be about perfect. 15 minutes is good. You don't want to do much more than that. I like working with the pigment powder. This is Pearl X because I can color it really, really easy instead of spending the time to use acrylic paint on it. But that's just a personal opinion. If you want to use the acrylic paint on it, let this dry for an hour. It'll be rock hard, and then you can continue doing it that way with your acrylic paints. So I'm going to use this one, and we always want to knock it off into the lid, and this is magenta, And so I'm using a smaller brush here. I'm going to knock it off into the lid. You find these at your craft book section, or I have a real good supplier at bluewhalearts.com as well. So I'm just going to lightly, because our clay still could be drying, which is our QuikWood. That's what I refer to. And on this one, we've got to get down the sides too. And I'm just doing the bow. We've got that little hanger part in the middle of the bow that is the silver kind of color. So we want to make sure that we don't get that. We just get this little bow. How cute would these be to give out as office presents to the people in the office? And they would be real inexpensive to do. So we're going to make sure we get this bow all the way around. Check all your angles. And the nice thing, because we're working on the packing tape, is you can pick it up and check your angles and color any of that needs to be colored. Now for the silver part of the bell, I'm going to be using silver to shade with, but I'm going to be using macro pearl. And I really love this because it's almost like a glitter. It has this really shine to it. I think it looks a lot like a jingle bell or a silver bell would. So that's the reason I'm going to be using that. And you'll see how wonderful this is here. And start covering the rest of our bell here. And I'm going to get those shadow areas with my silver, but if that gets down in there, that's okay. But you want to make sure you have it up against this bow on all the sides. And then, of course, our little area at the top. That is the ornament hanger or our bell hanger. Wasn't that real simple and sweet to color? If some of that gets on the red, you can come back in and kind of clean that up. Now I'm going to come back in with my silver, and we're going to come in those little areas that we talked about shading, and you could almost use a smaller brush there. And we're going to darken those up so those look like shadows. I also wanted to put a little bit of a shadow just on the bell a little bit. But that is already nice and done. So once you've done that, let this dry for your hour. Make sure it's nice and hard. And then what we're going to do is varnish it outside with spray varnish. And I use my either Rust-Oleum or Crayon, or if you have some other ones, that's fine. These are usually under $4 at Walmart. These are holiday ones, so I would either use the satin or the gloss to give it that little bit of extra sparkle. So just to give it that extra little feel. I keep it on there and let it dry. Do 2 or 3 coats and let that dry really nice and well. Once that is nice and dry, pull it off of your little piece of tape, and then I found a gray that matched the back. I don't recommend using silver. It's harder to paint with the metallic colors, and just kind of matching that up so you don't have anything that looks unpainted, and then varnish it again. And then once that's done, we're just going to take our post. We're going to use our E6000, which is that real strong glue, glue rock to rock, stone to stone. And then once you put those on with that E6000, they should never come off. If you can't find it in your craft section, give us a shout at miriamjoy.com, and we usually have it there, as well as our bell mold. We do carry that there. And we're going to put these on, and we're going to allow these to dry. I usually would do them like overnight or whatever. It takes about a couple of hours. They do tell you give it 24 hours. Another nice little thing that you could do with these, if you wanted to, was to put them in a card or something like that. If you were if you like to make cards, and they would be really cute and precious in a handmade card as well. That would be a lot of fun. So there's a lot you can do with them. Wasn't that so much fun? Make sure you come on over to miriamjoy.com and get your mold and your QuikWood, and check out our other videos showing you different jewelry to make during this holiday season as well. We have all kinds of fun things going on. Check out our Facebook page at Miriam Joy's Waxy Crafty Corner and Miriam Joy's Gourd Creation pages, where we try to have fun contests during the holiday season. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas. God bless.